I think this spot is becoming my favorite here in my living room, and I never thought about it before. It always bored me. But anyways, we are not there. So guys, how has been your day? Those bombshells still dropping, I see. I have been watching a lot of reactionary videos from everybody. And the ones that I found quite interesting and the ones that I think I kind of respect, I think some of them were kind of like disappointing me per se, but I also understood their point of view regarding General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and his bombshells that he dropped around. But for me, I am still saying it was necessary. Because what channel did Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi have to go and lay complaint? Because if he did, let's say he followed protocol, like everybody is saying, you should have followed protocol, he should have followed protocol. Okay, cool. Let's say he did follow protocol. And the way this government is structured, especially starts with the disbandment of the Hawks. When the Hawks were disbanded, they were independent and they also had teeth to bite. That means they could do arrest as well as prosecute. Then came the Hawks when they were disbanded in 2009 or 2008, if I remember correctly. And then they created the Hawks, and the Hawks were put under the Minister of Police for obvious reasons, that if there is an investigation against any of the ANC political comrades, the minister has one job and one job only, is to suppress that docket or disband the team or unit that is busy investigating the ANC comrade, or the minister quashes that investigation altogether. And in some instances, now that we are starting to make sense and connecting the dots about everything that has been happening in this country, political killings, I'm still asking myself, there are people in KwaZulu-Natal falling like flies, especially around this time of the year, in fact, of the election season, let me put it that way. And people drop like flies. Why? Because there's a comrade somewhere that feels like, no, I want to be high on the list. We're talking the IEC list. I want to be high on the IEC list because if I'm not going to eliminate this comrade, I'm going to be at the bottom of the IEC list, possibly not even making it into the council or becoming a councillor. And then when it comes to the general election time, that the same political unalivings take place again because somebody wants to be high on the provincial list of IEC as well as the national list on the IEC. So they're eliminating this competition. That is why our electoral system needs to change so that people can independently run for office, from the president all the way down to the MMC themselves, if we have to go that route. But those things, we are beginning to connect those dots. And then I have a second question that I don't know if it was a light bulb moment that I had during the day regarding assassinations. When you think of all the whistleblowers, obviously the whistleblower, when they are blowing the whistle, it's always going to connect back to a comrade. Beware of the comrades. I love that say. That punchline for me, it gives me life. So now you're starting to look at these so-called VIP security companies. I think we need to put some glasses on those, because I'm just thinking, here a politician powerful in their province, either as a mayor or an MMC or a premier even, because I understand that the president or the cabinet, the national cabinet, is protected by the South African Police VIP unit. But when it comes to the provincial and the regional staff, it's private security companies. Now, the question I'm asking myself, with all these names being dropped around, and I'm not saying they are responsible, because everything right now is still allegations, and we need to respect that principle. And when people are also arrested, we still need to respect the constitutional principle that one is innocent until proven guilty. So I do respect that, but that is not going to stop me from rubbing my two IQs together and try to make some sense of everything that I heard in those bombshells that were dropped by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi on Sunday. Like the political unalivings, we are assuming that, oh, inkabi that are gotten from somewhere, when the possibility could be some of these VIP protection unit security companies may also dabble in political unalivings. I am saying this to say because Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi had names. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi had politicians that some were to be arrested, but the unit that was investigating them disbanded. That question is very, very important to answer by the minister. What informed the decision to disband such an important unit, and yet this is South Africa. And yet political killings and that season is about to start. Why did you remove it? Who came to you, minister, and said, hey, if you don't disband that unit, I'm going down. And I'm going down, and I'm not going down alone. That's the question. Now let's go to Phala Phala. I mean, isn't the same police minister that suppressed the investigation into Phala Phala? Wouldn't now time for Cyril Ramaphosa to pay back and protect Minister Mkhunu? These are the things that we have to ask, guys. These are the things that are running wild in my mind right now. Like, wow. I don't think that as long as these people are still in power, particularly that political party called the ANC, nothing is going to be fixed. We may as well be in a mafia state already, because you listened to that bombshell by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. You're having politicians, you're having judges. Well, the judiciary, we don't know who they are. Right now, I'm on zero trust on the judiciary until all those judges have been sifted out. I have zero trust in the prosecutors or the National Prosecuting Authority itself. There was a time that the NDPP, Batohi, said something on one of the news channels. And then guess who denied those allegations? The president. So, where are we going with this? I know we are calling on mountaintop for action to be taken by the president, but the president was protected with the Phala Phala issue by his minister Mkhunu. So, if he tells him to step down or fires him, do you think Mkhunu is going to go down by himself? Especially when he is possibly facing arrest, because Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, indicated that he's opening criminal charges against the Minister of Police. So, where are we headed, do you think? Where do you think we are headed? Because right now, Ramaphosa should have landed if I'm doing the calculations. It's 9-hour flight from Rio de Janeiro to Johannesburg. To wherever it's going to be. So, where are we going? I want to know, where are we going, fellow South Africans? Please help me out in the comment section. What dots are you connecting? What suspicions, even if we take the conspiracy theory route, we need to make sense out of this. So that when we stand with Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, we stand on Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi also having rubbed our two IQs together here, in my opinion at least. Right now, I am on zero trust. We are on our own, and the police, wow. And it was so funny how Senzo Mkhunu also threw the police under the bus when he said, actually, the corrupt people here is the subs. He said the subs are the ones that are corrupt. And I'm like, but it's a minister. What policies have you tabled in parliament to clean out the South African Police Service? Because your job is policy, not operations, and yet you are busy shutting down investigative units. For what reason? And I am still on the trip, guys, about the individual that whispers in the minister's ear to, whether it's advise him, command him, demand him, or order him to do the things that Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has accused him of. Now we are hearing more stuff coming out regarding Vusi Matlala, is it Vusmuzi, Cat Matlala, Brown Mkhwanazi, whom, by the way, the media is hunting him down because they want to hear his side of the story. And his silence as well, I don't think it's helping him in any way. So now there's a lot going on, and you are like trying to connect the dots, and some dots are making sense like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And now I want to know where are we headed to, guys? Where are we headed to? Are we headed towards justice? Are we headed finally to what Singapore did, since it itself it's in a strategic route or route, whichever way you call it, to the better part of the northern hemisphere? Just like us in the southern hemisphere, we are actually a strategic point for whatever, whether good or bad, transfer of goods into the southern hemisphere. Singapore, what did they do? They put in place the death penalty. Should you be caught trying to smuggle any of these items that they've listed, there is no trial. There's judgment, and the judgment is clear. The news. So here in South Africa, shouldn't we do the same thing? Shouldn't we learn the same lesson that Singapore has taught strategic geographical routes for smuggling? Shouldn't we? But anyways, I did make my submissions in the Constitutional Amendment Portfolio Committee. And this is one of the things that I said. Let's learn from Singapore when it comes to the routes where illegal goods can be our what do you call this? Our country can be used as a port, either as a gas station, like the East India Company did, or as whatever it is that is nefarious in some people's minds. And of course, in order for this to happen, you need to have powerful people who are in charge of the borders, people that are in charge of your national security, people that are in charge of the country itself. And also, let's not forget the apparatus of the state, like the army, the police, the intelligence, you name it. Yeah, mafia state. That's what you need to install. You need to remove the rule of law and install chaos. You need to install, the mafia state, like Colombia. That's the route that these people were leading us towards if we are not there already. And I'm still saying that there needs to be a thorough investigation. Go as far back as when this started. And let's find people that are not supposed to be here. Either they are fugitives from FBI that ran away from either South America and they found a sanctuary here in South Africa. And I suspect that is happening. I suspect we do have most wanted drug pushers and cartel leaders probably residing in this very country, because there's no way that we would have such a big bombshell thrown by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and there are no people on this side that receive these goods and then they are sent out elsewhere. I'm also even starting to think about the so-called influencers. You hear an influencer has gone here. What were they carrying going there? And what are they carrying coming back? These are the things, guys, that I'm starting to think about. No, wait, this doesn't make sense. But I am not saying that they are involved one way or the other. But we need to put some glasses on, guys, and start investigating things that don't make sense. And I've asked a question before about our presidential jet as well, because Pala didn't just happen. Those dollars did not just put themselves under the couch in that farm. They come from somewhere. How did they come there? From where? Those investigations should have shown us that. So now you have to think about the presidential jet. When it leaves the country, what is it carrying? And when it comes back to the country, what is it carrying as well that is going to benefit the comrades? That's the question one has to ask. If things are the way they're being said, powerful politicians are in cahoots or colluding with drug cartels. Those people don't play games. They're very crafty and dangerous at the same time. So we cannot just, receive all these things at face value or prima facie, as some people would say. But we need to also analyze a little bit deeper. Yes, we may not have the proper analytics because we don't have the evidence before us, but we still have this, though. We still have this, and this comes also with memory. This also comes with, oh, I remember such a time before. Oh, now it's making sense. You know what I'm trying to say here? So many things are happening, and we need to be proactive, not reactionaries. I think we are shooting ourselves on the foot because we are reactionaries rather than proactive. And again, all this leads to our vote. The way we vote is the result of what we are now suffering in repercussions. Yep, this is us. This is our doing. And now we need to take accountability. And after taking accountability, let's redo this all over again if we have to. By sealing our borders, by putting in place, what do you call this? Punishment. I didn't want to use that word. Put in place punishment that is going to make any politician and every politician go, that's my neck we're talking about. I don't want to lose my head type of situation. We need to start over, guys. Honestly speaking, we don't know how deep this rot goes, but my suspicion is far deeper than we think. Far deeper than we think. So now I was a little bit disappointed with some commentators. I'm not going to mention names just yet. I am still thinking and analyzing what they are saying because I don't want, again, to be just a reactionary. I want to analyze what they are saying. But I cannot help but feel a bit disappointed. I think the only person that really said something that made perfect sense to me, which I will speak about in my next video, probably tomorrow, is Aubrey Mashikli on, what's his name? The Mpofu guy. I'm sorry, I forgot. Sizwe Mpofu. I think he's the person that I'm like, yes, you are in my head, sir. Because those are the things that are in my head as well. And we will talk about those things that he mentioned in the podcast. And others, I'm like, okay. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, others are saying that he must get suspended because he infringed on protocol. Others are calling him a, how do you put it, almost like a Hollywood star. He's so in love with the media and he is playing to the gallery type of situation. Others are saying a lot of things they are saying. And one is, I think it's a former police commissioner who said he also needs to be suspended for ill discipline. And I'm asking, sir, had he followed the protocol, wouldn't everything at the end of the day landed on Senzo Mchunu desk? And now, wouldn't that have put Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in danger? Because once he's fired, he loses all the protection that we are confidently saying it's protecting him for now. And I understand that his contract is expiring pretty soon, I think next month or so. So probably they cannot wait until he's gone. But this needs to be dealt with immediately and with immediate effect. I know I'm being ambiguous, but I'm emphasizing. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts today. And let's hear what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, by the time we wake up in the morning, Cyril Ramaphosa would have taken some serious actions. That includes heads rolling from within his government. Find out who those politicians are. We wake up, we see them being arrested by the Hawks. Yes, this side, do look into these allegations because I know it's going to be, I'm going to apply my mind and see if these are credible. While they are busy, they are shredding stuff, others. Others are destroying their devices. Others will say, oh, I had a prostitute in my house and she stole my laptop and my phone. Haven't we heard that before? Guys, anyways, let me call it a day. Thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate you guys so very much. And love coming from right here for you. And let's speak again. But please make your comments down below. And another thing, by the way, guys, I'm not ignoring your comments. Please don't think I'm ignoring your comments. My comment section is problematic. And I've been speaking to you two about this. Sometimes they come back and they say, okay, it's fixed. And then it's not. So I apologize. I think I can manage up to 50, if not 30, between 30 and 50. After that, if you're not getting a comment or a like from me, it's not because I'm not trying. I really am trying. All right. Anyways, guys, please don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see each other in my next video when I'm now fully informed about the things that I want to say. Goodbye.